Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark. And today I'm going to make the first of two videos. I'll release the second one in a day or two. And this is the first video concerning my 300 subscribers and 100 videos Q&A. So this is part one. I've done this basically to annoy you, those of you who've asked questions, because of course you'll be forced probably to watch two videos to find out in which one I answer your question. Cunning, right? No, it was just easier that way because, I have, those of you who watch this channel often, I have a tendency to go on and waffle. So with the number of questions, I thought it would be much easier just to split it into two. I've chosen them pretty much at random, which ones I'll answer on this video, and then the rest I'll answer on the second video, as I say, released in a day or two. Okay, so let's go through to the questions. But first of all, actually, I should say thank you again to everybody, and thank you for the wonderful questions that you've asked me, and hopefully I provide satisfactory answers. Right, so the first question is from Sonia Deveni. What other hobbies do you have besides reading? Well, I have to say it's not too many these days. Obviously spending time playing and walking. Elvis I don't necessarily consider it a hobby because one, it's something that obviously I have to do, although I do enjoy doing it, of course, but it's kind of just part and parcel of taking on a little dog. But I do enjoy it, and I suppose when we have the chance to go for a long walk, then I suppose that type of thing, like a really long one, then that would be, I suppose, one of my hobbies. I do enjoy listening to music, and also I enjoy studying. I enjoy studying for my job because I have to teach subjects now other than English, so I do have to bone up on them, really, things like art and history and geography and that kind of thing, which I find a lot of fun. I also maintain an English website for school, which was brought about due to the coronavirus. So we kind of uploaded all our lessons onto that website and lots of resources and things like that. So I really enjoy doing that kind of thing as well. I suppose also making Booktube videos is a hobby too. In the past, I did enjoy more sport, from playing rugby, squash, swimming, of course, and these kind of things. And also traveling was a big hobby of mine. I don't travel so much these days, but then I suppose nobody does really. But I feel pretty settled here. And of course, once I got Elvis, it's not so easy to go away because I don't want to rely on other people, and also I don't really want to leave him for very long. I think I can count the number of times on one hand that we've actually been apart for a night. So maybe strange to some, but when you live alone, then and your kind of best friend or really only family that's with you at the time is your dog. I suppose you kind of think of it like a small child in some ways, and you don't want to be away from it for too long. So Sonia, thank you very much. I hope that answered your question. Okay, next question from Very Literary Carrie. Tea or coffee, and how do you take it? Well, I had to give this one a lot of thought because I'm a tea person, definitely, and usually I buy a big box of tea. I'll show you, like this, for example. No, I don't get any money from PG Tips, but for example, this one has 240 tea bags in, so I'll buy something like this. Unfortunately, this one is, I thought it was empty. Oh my goodness, there is one left. There is one left. Wow. Oh, it's a good thing. Thank you, Carrie. That is a pleasant surprise. So yeah, normally I would drink tea in the mornings. I do enjoy that. If I go out to a cafe, I will drink coffee. When I'm out of tea, which I thought I was there, I will drink coffee as well. Tea I take with milk, and I'm a milk in first person. There's a lot of debate about that, and some people think it isn't classy. Personally, I think it's classier because, in the old days, people put the milk in first because, of course, they had high quality bone china, which would shatter if you put the hot water in. So, and I prefer it that way. I think it mixes nicer. People might say it makes the tea not as hot, but I don't agree. I used to take sugar in it. I don't anymore. And it's the same in my coffee. I take milk in my coffee. And in fact, I'm drinking coffee right now. There you go. A nice little cat mug there. From some local craftsperson. I think they're really good, actually. So yeah, excuse me. So I take milk in my coffee, and sometimes sugar at work in the mornings, maybe. But if I'm having something sweet with the coffee, then I wouldn't take sugar in it. So there we go. But yeah, I have to see if I can order some more. We had a few issues because of Brexit and COVID, I suppose, supply issues and whatnot. Ordering those, so maybe I'll have to do it. There's a shop in Prague. Actually, there's probably a couple, but there's one I go to called the Candy Store, which sells a lot of British and American comfort foods, I suppose. Which it's nice to order from occasionally. Okay, so the next one is thank you, Carrie. Thank you very much. I hope that answered your question. So moving on. Question from Matthew at Bottle Imp Books, and he says, what would your desert island disc choices be? So 3 songs, a book, and a luxury item. Well, this is very difficult. I found it very hard to narrow it down to 3 songs, but I did. And today those songs would be Lost in TV by Suede, because I really enjoy this song. Then there's the Admiral from HMS Pinafore singing When I Was a Lad by Gilbert and Sullivan. The reason I choose this is because it kind of cheers me up and I can sing along, and I enjoy it anyway. And the last one would be the aria Voce Sapete from The Marriage of Figaro by Mozart. I was trying to think of maybe a couple of others. I was thinking I could have gone all 3 just from The Marriage of Figaro alone, but I wanted to vary it a bit. Now, regarding a book, it's difficult. I would say it would be a choice between 3 Men in a Boat or Treasure Island. Because I'm on a desert island, maybe Treasure Island would be better because there's a lot of food and things mentioned in 3 Men in a Boat, and it would probably drive me mad, as I wouldn't be able to eat it. If I could take like a collected works, like a big volume, and it had the collected works of, say, one author in it, maybe Dickens would be great, because of course that would keep me busy for a while, or like a complete work of Sherlock Holmes as well. So something like that would be fantastic. And my luxury item, well, I hope Elvis could come with me anyway. But if he couldn't and I could get away with it, then I would count him as my luxury item. Of course he isn't. But otherwise, this was really difficult. I was thinking about taking my bed, but I thought there'd probably be a bed or something to sleep on there. I don't know. But the thing that I would probably want most would be a sauce of some type. Maybe a chili sauce, sriracha sauce or something like that. Because, the food might need it. I don't know what I'll be eating, but I would want to add something to my desert island food to kind of make it perhaps more palatable and that kind of thing. So in the end, I thought I'd go for sauce. Maybe a strange choice, but that's what I'm going for. Thank you for that, Matthew. Okay, so Courtney Ferreter, she asks, what's the best and worst Booktube made me read it books you've read so far? Well, one of the best was from Maybe Midrash. I really enjoyed The Liar's Gospel by Naomi Alderman, which I think I mentioned only yesterday in one of my videos, actually. But I would probably go with that because it was really interesting. And the worst, well, it wasn't bad. I suppose in terms of books and how I rated it, I would say Cold Comfort Farm was the worst by Stella Gibbons. But it did give me the best Booktube experience so far, in the fact that I had a one-to-one buddy read with Summer at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and we became very good friends out of that. So for me, that's a bonus, big time. So it was a Booktube made me do it moment, and the worst book but the best experience. So thank you, Courtney, for that one. Scurry Girl asks, is Elvis your first dog? He's my first dog, that has been solely mine, but he's not my first family dog. When I was a baby, we had a dog called Whiskey. I think he was mixed. I don't really remember him because unfortunately he left because we didn't get on very well. He started apparently not attacking me, but getting aggressive towards me as a baby. And surprisingly, my parents chose to keep me rather than the dog, and he went to live on a farm somewhere. But I am assured that is not just a saying. He really did go and live on a farm somewhere. And knowing my parents, he absolutely would have done. They wouldn't have done anything nefarious with him, of course. And so he was, I believe, just adopted by an older couple who did live in the country. So yeah. And then when I was a teenager, we had a fantastic fox terrier called, I wish I could say called Montmorency after the dog in 3 Men in a Boat, but no, she was called Zoe, and she was really my mum's baby, but she was a fantastic little dog, and great personality. And currently my parents have another mixed dog called Pippa, who's also very cute. But Elvis is my first dog. So yeah, that answers the second part of your question. Did your family have pets when you were growing up? Yes, we did. We had Zoe, especially as I mentioned. We also had guinea pigs. I had a gerbil called Emil, after the character in Astrid Lundgren's books, because we were living in Sweden at the time. We got a free kitten in Bermuda when we went to pick up guinea pig food. And we called her Sooty because she was all black, so very imaginative. And that would have been, I think, around the year 1989, 1990. And she died when I was 31. So we got her when I was 9 or 10, and she died when I was 31. So she lived a very long time. She lived in Bermuda, Sweden, England, Bermuda, England again. So she was a well-traveled cat, and my father always used to joke, some free cat, because of course he ended up paying for her in a lot of transportation costs and quarantine fees at the time and things like that. But yeah, we had pets growing up, which were great, of course. And we had a few incidental cats along the way. So we had a cat called Oliver, who came with the house we were renting in Sweden, and then we had a few other cats. Then when my grandmother came to live with us, we had a cat called Socks as well, which was a lovely cat. And Sooty and Socks both got on very well with Zoe, so they were quite good friends, all three of them. And Sooty outlived them all. She just carried going on and on. So it was amazing when she got to over 20. It was incredible, really. Okay. Angelica351 asks, how old is Elvis? Elvis has just turned 4. He turned 4 back in June. And she also asks, when do the Czechs start learning English? Well, officially they start learning English from the 3rd class of what they call basic school. So that means they start school at the age of 6. So they start learning around the age of 8 or 9 officially. Some Czech kids do learn in nursery school, at least some basic things. In the school I work at, we start teaching them from the 1st class, so from age 6, though it's not official. So it means it doesn't count in their report cards and things at the end. So it's just kind of introducing them, getting a few things out the way with them, and then we start properly learning with them in the third class. So yeah, that's a good question. Thanks, Angelica, and thanks again, Scurry Girl, as well. Okay, the next one is from Bamboo Jones. What made you decide to build Ah, yes, because I mentioned on a previous video that I'm building or planning to build a house because I bought some land here. Well, basically because it seems to be the done thing. Well, I was always told it's cheaper to build than to renovate something here. And Czechs tend to build their own houses and stay in them for life and hand them down to family and things like that. It's not like in England where, you get on a property ladder and this kind of thing. So you pretty much build your house for life. And having Elvis has made me really want to do that because I want him to have the chance to have an outdoor space and run around, because I live in a flat in the center of town. I don't even have a balcony, unfortunately, at the moment in this one. And also for me as well, it gets quite hot and it would be nice. It means moving away from the town because I'd be living in the village in the mountains where my school is, but I think it would be great. Do you find yourself imagining some of the rooms? Yes, I do, but I'm trying not to at the moment because, there's big problems with building supplies at the moment and the prices are going up 20 to 25%. So, the cost of the building isn't keeping pace with the amount and things I have for my mortgage. So I'm really waiting to find out from the builder what they estimate the final cost will be so I can get started. It's a little bit stressful, but I'm sure we'll get there. Are you planning a wall or two of bookshelves? Yes, indeed I am. I'm not sure yet if I will have a big wall in what I hope will be the living room. It will be an open plan living room though, with dining room and kitchen all in one. Or if I will just turn one of the bedrooms into a library with just maybe a sofa for people to sleep on if they come to visit, but we'll see. But thank you. Thank you for the question. And hopefully when the process starts and stuff, I'll be able to share it all with you on here, if you'd be interested, of course. Okay, and the last one for today, from Sandy, misreads a lot. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? And this is a very interesting question because if you'd asked me this, I don't know, maybe even a few months ago, I probably would have said maybe back to Japan or maybe South Korea or somewhere like that. Though at the moment I would say the USA. I would say America. And it's funny because, I visited America a lot when I was a child because Bermuda, of course, is very, very near, well, relatively near. And it was easy to go there. But I haven't been back to the States since I was, since 1991. I know because we left Bermuda on my 11th birthday in 1991 and we went to Washington, D.C. for a few days before flying back to England. And to be honest with you, no offense, I hope, I didn't have any big reason or feeling of wanting to go back because I didn't feel that anything would really be that different. Maybe there were one or two places I would have wanted to see, but I thought there was more of the world that would be a bit different. However, meeting so many wonderful people here on YouTube, on Booktube, so many Americans, has made me think it would be really great to go there, and perhaps even meet up with some of you and go book shopping and go and eat some, I don't know, good American food. You can see obviously I enjoy my food, and I think that would be great. So actually, yeah, if you ask me right now, I would say the good old USA, or should I say US of A, shouldn't I? Well, you know what I mean. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for all those wonderful questions. And if your question wasn't there, it will be there in the next video. So if you waited all that time waiting to hear a response to your question, and now you're probably cursing me like, oh, that's 20 minutes of my life gone, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. So then, thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.
Better